everyone, welcome back to the Ballerz POV show. I am here today with Rod Harris. Rod, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, what's going on? Rod Harris. I'm a personal trainer here in the Valley. I'm at a gym called Muscletopia off of 24th Street in Osborne. Originally from Long Beach, California. I've been out here since 2013, 12-ish. I love it here. A lot of people will be like, yo, do you miss California? I really don't miss California at all. I enjoy, the slower pace here, even though it is picking it up. And, it's a hot spot across the country now.
It is, for sure.
But I enjoy kind of just staying in my lane and, just hanging out with my son, being around family, taking care of business, and, sticking to I always say I'm just sticking to the script, taking, one day at a time. So,
nice.
Real mellow, real chill, not confrontational.
Yeah,
so,
very nice. All right, we'll just get started off with some questions here. On a scale of 1 to 10, how competitive would you say you are and why?
I would say a 5, just because it's never really over the top. If there's a lot of trash talking, I can get competitive. Okay, I got to step it up. But for the most part, I try to inspire, and for the most part, I try to be that kind of that light that people don't expect, rather than the ego coming in. You probably see some muscles and it's like, okay, he ego driven, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, they say big teddy bears. Like if I can support anybody along their journey, I'm definitely trying to be that light, rather than the typical judge a book by its cover. So nice. I don't mind losing if I'm like at Dave and Buster's or something like that.
Right.
But I do the bodybuilding, obviously. But it's times where I'm backstage and if somebody's nervous, I'm like, come on, bro. We on this. I always say we all playing for the same team. We're just trying to better ourselves every day.
Exactly.
So,
I love that motto.
Yeah, I would say
sure.
a 5 for sure.
Cool. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
Easily, I'm a great father.
That's a good
great.
one.
That's something I'm really big on when I get it on social media, because I post my son a lot on my page.
Sure.
When they say, yo, you're a great father, that's something that always get pinned in the comments, because I take pride in that. That next generation, they have he's around role model individuals. So I love that comment. That's always one that kind of like tear you up every time for somebody else that isn't around you. So for them to see it on the outside looking in, it's definitely good,
Yeah, definitely. Now, how old is your son?
He's 2. He'll be 3 in October.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so we're 4 days apart.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Very
4 days
nice.
apart.
Okay, cool. You ever received an insult that you kind of took as a compliment instead?
I would say, bro, you have to be on steroids. That's always the one you get. But I'll tell you though, because it's like, if I'm in a bad mood, because obviously I'm human, if I'm in a bad mood, I'll take it as disrespect, because you're trying to discredit my hard work.
Right.
But on the same time, it's like, okay, you look good enough to where they have to assume you have to be on something. But at the end of the day, it's really just work ethic, And for the most part, anybody, I tell everybody, anybody can get whatever look you're going for. You just got to put the time in, at the end of the day. So, if you're in the gym, that's really not a good conversation starter.
Right. I like that one, though. Favorite holiday movie?
The Grinch.
Okay, original?
The original.
The original,
I like the original.
Yeah.
I mean, as an adult, you appreciate the Grinch, that he was kind of just isolated, doing his own thing on his little trash mountain, come down, socialize, go back up. So I didn't really, understand it. I mean, I watched it as a child, but as an adult, from an adult perspective, I'm like, I think I would be the Grinch.
You can kind of see more of that perspective.
Yeah, for sure. After he had the big heart, though, I'm
sure.
not gonna go in town and stir up a bunch of trouble. But definitely the Grinch. I like that around Christmas time. Definitely give me that Christmas feel. For sure.
Yeah, for sure. So if you were able to spend 15 minutes, like around the fire in a hot tub with 4 different people, famous, non-famous, dead, alive, who do you think you'd pick?
I would pick Tupac.
Okay, someone actually last week said that. So
I would do Tupac, just for his point of view. He has such a major influence on the culture. I I would do my dad as well, just because I feel like the older generation of my family wasn't around kind of influential people. So to get him in the room, to, you know, open his mind to, you know, a higher level of thinking, I think that'd be huge. He probably won't even really engage in too much, but just to kind of sit there, because he's always like, you know, my family, they call me Buddha. It's like, you know, I try to be well-rounded, you know, as far as I know where I come from, but at the same time, I know where I'm going. So kind of getting that best of both worlds, I think that'd be huge for him. And I would do LeBron as well. And it's not even my favorite player, but I respect his business model for sure.
Definitely.
You know, Michael Jordan, you know, he set the foundation, but I feel like LeBron really took it off, you know, as far as coming from underprivileged in his neighborhood, and then having the influence that he has, you know, worldwide. So I definitely do LeBron. And the other two was tough. I want to do somebody political as well, just because, you know, that's a different aspect that we don't really get to see, you know. So, yeah, the other two would be, it's up in the air. I couldn't really think of nothing.
Yeah, no worries. Those are the good three, so definitely. Like you said, with your dad, maybe just kind of observing and getting the perspective of those two.
For sure, because he always calling me, you know, getting that, the encouragement. He's like, yo, sometimes I feel like the dad. I'm just like, you know. So I try to kind of pour into him, because he just didn't know any better growing up. He kind of did what he had to do. So I definitely try to fill him in on everything that he's not able to see back in California. So
gotcha. All right.
Robin Hood. Take it from, you know, the rich and get back to the poor as far as the knowledge. So I try to really just, you know, be a sponge and soak it up from both sides. Yeah. So.
Definitely. Biggest pet peeve?
Respect, and I mean, clean as well, but respect for sure. I feel like everybody should be entitled to their own opinion, and you should just respect it, you know. I feel like we live in a society today where so many people are easily offended, and I'm somebody that like, yo, don't cut corners. I want you to be brutally honest with me, and then, you know, let me put myself in your shoes so I can get your perspective. And I feel like that's something that's really been lost in today's society for sure. So yeah, I'm definitely big on respect and, you know, not being entitled, you know. So yeah, just, you know, listen and, you know, be
kind of the empathy.
Respond rather than react, you know. Sometimes you really have to analyze what you about to say or how you're about to react to a situation. So you can't really be a hothead. So I'm really big on respect. If you give it, it shall be received, you know, if you're dealing with me. So pet peeve, be respectful.
If you came across $10 million tomorrow, what do you think would be one of the first things you would like to do with that?
I'm taking my family on a vacation.
Nice.
I'm gonna pay for it. It seems like, you know, the family only gets together for like funerals, God forbid, or anything like that. So my family kind of been spread out.
So like you mean like your entire family, not just like your son?
Aunts, uncles, immediate family. If I got $10 million, like, yo, if you see this message, you know, shoot me a message. We're going on all expense trip.
They're gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's like, you know, that's when jealousy kicks in. Like, we got $10 million. Well, he didn't give us none, or whatever the case may be. You know, so you know, and if you got a business plan, you know, obviously, you know, we can talk about that as well. But you know, just sharing those experiences that you didn't have the opportunity to in the past. So if you can kind of bring the family together where it's not for a tragedy, that's a win-win, you know.
Definitely. That's good one. So what do you think the world is going to look like 5 years from now? So like 2027-ish?
More buried in the phones, technology. I feel like the social interaction has decreased significantly. Even when I'm at home, I try not to be on my phone, you know, 'cause I'm a personal trainer, so I'm talking to clients 24/7 if they have any questions. So it's like, it's really finding that balance. But I feel like 5 years from now, tech is a blessing, but at the same time, you know, it's a distraction if you let it be, and it's easily can become a distraction. So, you know, with it always being in your face, I feel like tech is really, you know, it's going to continue to take off. It's going to be here. And I feel like, 5 years from now, the social interaction is just it's gonna keep going down here because even when I'm in the grocery store, I kind of like there's one thing I won't do. I won't get my groceries delivered to the house.
Really?
Because I still like that social interaction
Okay.
of going to the grocery store,
Yeah.
and then people don't expect you to talk to them randomly
That's true.
in the aisle. Like when I like pop up a random conversation or a compliment, they always look
Everyone's
like
shocked.
shocked.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
like
sure.
like yo, I'm not gonna bite you or
Yeah,
anything
right.
like that. So it's always still refreshing to just be that energy,
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it's still good people out in the world, even though it's a lot of
Exactly.
craziness going on.
Right.
So
That's 5 years, and this is definitely harder, at least it was for me. What about 50 years down the line?
I suppose the Jetsons.
Yeah.
I mean, the way everything is just taking off and automation is, right at the forefront of everything going on in society. I feel like everything is going to be a lot more automated.
Sure.
Probably working from home more frequently.
Yeah.
You probably won't even have to leave your house in 50 years, So
We really don't have to that much now.
Facts. I mean, and it's scary because it's like you look into, what's going on today is like, wow, if this is going on now, like, what's going to happen from now to 50 years if we even make it that far, God forbid. So, it's scary to think about at the same time, but, you just got to prepare the little ones, the next generation.
That's right.
And it's not even, I always say, it's not our world anymore.
Yeah, right.
It's foreign to us. We don't want change, but for the little ones growing up, that's just what they're going to be accustomed to. And, I'm sure I'll be old and looking back like,
kind of like your dad is now.
Like, how you work this thing?
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, it's their world now, and we just living in it. So,
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, what motivates you?
What motivates me, definitely being that energy and an asset to everybody that's around me. I feel like if you're in my circle, I really want to be, provide opportunities, rather than I see, like, I don't want my son and my nieces to go through what I went through growing up. And, friends, if I can provide you with some type of opportunity to make your life easier, I'm all about that. So, really just, like I said, being a sponge and giving them the game, as far as, what worked for me, obviously make your own decisions. But if I can be an asset to everybody around me and make sure that everybody's smiling and, I think about this sometime. Like, how would people describe you if they was talking about you?
Right.
What type of person is that individual? Yeah. So I always want that to be a positive, a positive message, or positive attributes as far as if somebody was to say, oh, Rod coming through, like, oh, how's Rod? So I just want to, have, good energy and remembered by that. So
Absolutely. What do you think is the biggest challenge in your business right now? So the personal training right now, what is, from your perspective, what is the biggest challenge?
Balance.
Really? Yeah.
Balance. As far as, so I'm in a relationship. Social media is a gift and a curse.
Sure.
It's like, people don't care nowadays. So it's like temptation is always there. And, you have to really kind of, hold yourself accountable, as far as, social media presence, family, of course, you got to have that balance as well. Communicating with clients, you got to have that balance as well. So it's like, everything plays its part, and it's a part of my everyday life. So kind of, having these boundaries set for each category, it can get challenging at times. It's like when I get home, I might get home late and I'm still, creating a diet or creating a workout for tomorrow. But I haven't seen my son all day. He about to get ready for bed. So it's like, I know I shouldn't be on my phone right now, So, it's little things like that, people don't see on the back end that, that's always just, on the forefront of, my daily routine. So.
Definitely. Who's been your biggest coach or mentor in life, whether that's through personal training or just in your personal life? I mean, who do you look to as kind of the most influential person?
I would, in my business, Ivan Almonte for sure.
Okay.
He treats me like a son, I'm big on we can agree to disagree. So how our relationship is so tight is when he thinks one way and I think the other way, we'll talk it out, and it's like, okay, no harm, no foul. Common grounds is no hard feelings. So definitely me and him having that, relationship to where we can, talk about pretty much anything, any conflicts or, agreements or just collaborating on things within the gym or business. He's definitely been a respect, and I got to tip my hat off to him for sure. Nice. So, okay. I wouldn't know where I would be if he wasn't, if he didn't show me how to pose when I reached out to him. Yeah, so that's how initially how we first started rocking. We had a mutual friend. I reached out to her about posing. She's like, well, I'm not a men's physique posing, but I got a good friend that can teach you. So I went to go see him. He didn't charge me for posing, and he would be pretty expensive. So he was like, hey, just give me a shout out on Instagram, and then we'll call that a payment. So nice. I did that, ended up winning the show. Yeah, and then talked to him for a couple of months. And then I got like a random text. I'm pretty sure he was doing like a group text or something like that. Like you just copy and paste and sending it. He's like, hey, I opened up a gym. Yada yada yada, come through and just come show your support. I'm like, okay, cool. And I put the address in, and it was literally like 5 minutes from my house. So I ended up going in there, started working on there more often, built up a relationship, and lo and behold, I'm the head trainer at his gym. So
very good. That's a good story.
Yeah. So Ivan is super cool. Definitely got to give him props as far as being a mentor within business. So
very cool. What is one lesson you've learned in your job that you think is kind of an important life lesson for other people out there? Just even if they're not in the fitness industry, just kind of in general.
That too, and going back to mentor John Troutman too, because he took me to another level as far as thinking as well. When he told me how much he was making a month, I'm like, yo, if he making this amount of money, I definitely can, step my game up. So shout out to John Troutman too. But as far as you said, any lesson you've learned in your job that is like a good life lesson, just in general for people. You always got more. If you got a good support system behind you, somebody, a team that's gonna push you, it goes far. And I just feel like, even though at the end of the day personal training is a luxury, not a necessity, if you can afford it, it's so beneficial, to have somebody to push you past, your capabilities. It's been countless times where clients will come in and be like, hey, I know I can't do this. I only can do 10 reps. And there, it's a success story with Claudia, one of my clients, Claudia. She ended up doing 100 reps. She was like, I can do like 10. I'm like, no, I'm about to push you. Like, no, don't lock the leg press. I'm like, keep going. She ended up doing 100 reps. So it's like, it's countless times where clients will come in. I'm like, do you think you can do this? No, I can't do it. And then you push them, and you really, just giving them the motivation they hear, and they doing all the work. And like I said, just having that, that support system to, push you to that next level. Now you just reach this new height, within your personal life and your, your fitness journey, or whatever the case may be. To like, oh, I got more. It's really just tapping into, whatever you're trying to do. I always say, the mind limits the body. The body be ready to go, but it be you stopping yourself all the time. So just let loose. Get you somebody that's gonna push you. And you'll be good.
Yeah, definitely. What's something that in your line of work that you feel like people don't necessarily see eye to eye with you about, if anything?
When I tell them, when they ask me how often do I train, I tell them I go every day.
Yeah.
There's only been, since I really started, I've been athletic pretty much my whole life. Since I moved out here back in like 2013, whatever the case may be, 12, there's only been a span of 2 weeks where I wasn't training that I can even remember. In 2018, I ended up getting strep throat, I couldn't go to the gym for 2 weeks. But outside of that, I try to go to the gym every day if my schedule allows it. If I don't go to the gym, it's usually like, I just couldn't make it that day, and it's no harm, no foul. I might have looked up and I've been training 2 weeks straight every day, whatever the case may be. So if you're trying to reach your goal, you're trying to get that physique that you want to acquire, just make time for it and make it fun, But everybody, a lot of people talk about overtraining, but I feel like if you get an adequate sleep and a proper nutrition, the water intake is good and you feel good. Obviously, listen to the body. Want to go if you hurt or whatever the case may be. But go to the gym every day. It's just a positive outcome. So.
For your mental and physical health.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you're able to go to the gym, carve out your schedule, go to the gym. I mean, and every workout doesn't have to be an hour.
Exactly.
It's some days where I'm just in there, I'm like, okay, I got 10, 15 minutes to do some pull-ups and some push-ups or some abs, whatever the case may be, and okay, no harm, no foul. The next day, I might have another hour or two to kind of blow in the gym. So just take what what life gives you, have fun with it because it's a never-ending journey.
Right.
So enjoy the process.
For sure.
Drop the ego.
Yeah.
And just have fun in the gym.
Exactly. What time of day do you get your best work done?
Afternoon.
Oh, really?
But
okay.
I'm a nap person.
Morning. Okay.
I'm a nap person.
Yeah.
So I get up early, but I'm not necessarily a morning person. I enjoy working out, in the morning if I have to. But if I had it my way, I would, take care of business or whatever in the morning, go about my routine. But I feel like I get the best work done after I basically split up my schedule. So I have morning clients and evening clients.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm a lot more efficient after I get my morning routine out the way, go home, take a nap, and then once I wake up, I'm like full throttle from there. So definitely afternoon, I will, get clerical work done or my workouts. It'll be preferably around like 4 or 5 p.m.
Gotcha.
Just enough time to where I can go hard in the gym. And I can kind of let that pre-workout kind of settle.
There you go.
I don't want to be up all night. So. Yeah, like 4 or 5.
Okay, nice. What's something that you have absolutely no desire to do?
I always say fake the funk. So just be you and give people that opportunity to like you for you. And if they accept you for you, then it's a win. But if you kind of faking to be around somebody, then when the time comes and they really see the real you, it's like, damn, I wouldn't even waste my time around you. So I feel like give people the opportunity to if this is who you are and they accept you for that, then they'll be around you. If not, no harm, no foul. You split, go your separate ways early rather than wasting each other's time trying to, be fake around people. So definitely be true to self.
Yeah, for sure. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, but with the $10 million thing, what's something you would pay $1 million to do? I know you said that like taking family on vacation, but like maybe something to do that you haven't done before, do for yourself.
I would just do some type of charity work as far as for the less fortunate to change their family's trajectory. It was a time in my life when I was living in California. I'm like, well, this is it. That's initially why I moved to Arizona.
Okay.
I just had an epiphany. I'm like, yo, it got to be more than life than just this. So I had the luxury that my family was already in Arizona, so I had a place to go. But there are individuals I know that's out there that feel like, where do I go from here? You feel lost. So if I can, have a voice and provide an opportunity that there is more to gain out there and some type of charitable work to where they feel like they have a fighting chance still, and get the ones that's already made it to go to those communities and basically like, yo, it's if you put the work in, you still have a fighting chance. So definitely I would dump $1 million into a foundation like that.
Nice.
For sure.
Very good. So last thing we always ask people when they come on here, have you tried any of the Ballerz products? And if so, what did you think?
Underwear, leg days.
Yeah.
Ballerz all day.
Nice.
If I'm wearing tights, because I'm big on my attire has to match what I'm working out that day. So if I'm doing shoulders or back, tank top, whatever the case may be. But when I'm doing legs, I like the baller briefs just because they don't ride up. So if I'm, doing squats or, leg press, lunges, the briefs are just amazing. They feel amazing. It kind of just feel like you just got your spandex on and kind of just, what they say, free balling.
Yeah.
But, and it absorbs really well. You're not constantly, pulling them down as, you know, so many briefs in the past
Sure.
Have done. So definitely the briefs are my go-to, especially, you know, when I'm in the gym.
Very
so
nice. Love to hear that.
get you some briefs.
Yeah.
I think they got packages going.
Right,
also.
yeah, for sure.
There you go.
Definitely. Lastly, where can everyone find you on social media?
You can find me at Rod is Raw on Instagram. I am Rod Harris. Also, that's just my fitness page with clients on Instagram. Rod is Raw on TikTok. I'm not really big on TikTok just because I got in the game late. I said I wasn't gonna do TikTok just because you know
that's the thing now.
when it first started, it was like more so dance. I'm like, okay, I'm not a dancer. I'm not going to that platform. And then you know it evolved, and you see what it's become now. So you know I don't really got too many followers on TikTok, so I don't really be on there. But you can find me on there too. But for sure, Instagram, Rod is Raw. Facebook, I really don't be on Facebook like I should. But
sounds good.
Yeah, Instagram.
All right, very good. Well, speaking of that, don't forget to follow Ballerz on YouTube, Facebook, IG, and TikTok, and press all those notification buttons. And thank you so much for joining us, Rod. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.